Rodgers sucks. Aaron Rodgers sucks so bad. He sucks so bad on so many levels. He goes on McAfee's show and says they went behind my back. They didn't handle it the right way. I remember back when the front office was a bunch of guys with integrity. I wanted to be a Packer. I'm the longest tenured Packer. Blah, 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 blah. The guy is just diarrhea of the mouth. He sucks so bad. And then what you learn is that actually they texted him, or they called him, or they called him and they texted him, or they called and they texted his agent, or they called and texted both he and his agent, and nobody ever responded. Multiple times. Rodgers likes to paint it as, they've done me so poorly. I'm the longest tenured Packer. Shouldn't that count for something? Blah, blah, blah. Then you learn he ghosted them, which I know there's no service inside the cave, but come on. Okay, now I'll go back to being fair. It is possible, it is plausible that Gutekunst is attempting to frame it his way.
Gunty for short.
And wants to make it seem like the Packers did everything possible. They tried to be fair and upfront. He unfortunately did not respond, and this is just the way that it had to be. Maybe that's the way this thing is going. I don't think so, though. I think at the end of last year, Rodgers, understandably embarrassed with the way that the season ended, kind of felt the writing on the wall or saw the writing on the wall, probably didn't want to allow the Packers, whatever that satisfaction is, to tell him that maybe they're moving on, or maybe there's another option, or gauging what he wants. Maybe he felt like they were already ahead of him on this path. But I've said this how many times over the course of this offseason? You've got to convince Aaron Rodgers, the toddler, that he likes broccoli. It was your idea to make broccoli. You love broccoli, right? You want to be Superman, and broccoli makes you grow up big and strong, Aaron. Woo, here comes the airplane with the broccoli. You've got to convince him that it was his idea. Because if you don't, then he goes scorched earth. How could you do me like this? He is so much drama. For a guy that wants to insist that he knows everything, that he is intellectual, that he is enlightened. What the hell is enlightened about not responding to texts or emails from your employer? What is enlightened about that? You know, you want to go to do a darkness retreat, to challenge your own mind, the noise in the mind, and find solitude and answers and truth deep within. That sounds like a really credible, interesting, honorable task. But how can you try to seek truth within yourself when you don't have the common courtesy to just pick up a phone call from your employer? To not openly communicate what you would like to do or what you think you'd like the next year or so to look like. Again, I will leave the door open to try to be fair. It is my job to be objective. It is my job to keep an open mind. I try to do that. I try to commit to that cause. So maybe Gutekunst is just framing this the way that he wants to frame it to help out the Packers. But I doubt it. And if Rodgers is not answering texts or emails or calls the entire offseason, and then has the call to say they went behind my back to shop me, and I'm not so happy about that, screw you. Screw you. You suck. Which is why I have been saying the Jets should not get into business with this bozo. You can't trust him. You cannot trust him. You cannot trust his version of events ever. Is Gutekunst the best GM of all time? Probably not. But do I think the Packers have attempted to do right by Aaron as much as possible? Maybe out of fear that he would embarrass them? Yeah, I think so. I don't think that they're trying to be surreptitious. I don't think they're trying to kneecap him. I think they're trying to do what's best in their mind for the Packers, and he just sucks. He sucks at this, which might be why he's estranged from his family, which might be why he's a complicated guy to read, to coach, to play with, whatever. Just be an adult and pick up the phone and communicate. He is the most passive-aggressive guy going, and it's so annoying. Off my soapbox.